Hi guys, what's up, what's down, what's sideways? James here for Chronic Fatigue Syndrome, my friend, my enemy, my constant companion, day 89. Third day. So, today is Tuesday. And, is that wonky? Is that wonky? I apologize if it's wonky. Life is wonky. Anyway, so today's Tuesday. Sunday I lost a lot. Many hours were dedicated to being fatigued. And then Monday, many hours of the day were dedicated to being in pain. Dedicated is the wrong word. I'm trying to look for the up spin on this. And today was me recovering from the first 2 days, and the pain wasn't as bad, and the fatigue wasn't as bad. Still had both of them, but they weren't as bad. And as I said in yesterday's video, even if I was still in pain today, I would do some sort of movement, like additional movement to what I usually do, to get my body moving. And so I've done it, and see, I'm a very big advocate of you're going to feel tired or in pain, you may as well get a reward out of it. And when I talk with other people, I keep getting this, oh James, you don't know what it's like, or oh James, you know, your chronic fatigue syndrome just must not be that severe, rah rah. It has taken me 25 years of consistent effort to reach where I am today. So when people say about how they don't have the energy to lift a toothbrush, yeah, I've been there, and I still occasionally visit there. You know, when they say that they're stuck in bed, yeah, I've been there. Still visit there. Or they're in so much pain that blah, or they can't get any sleep, blah. Like, yeah, I've never at any point said I'm cured. I've not at any point said that I no longer experience the, I was going to say joys. I gotta watch how much sarcasm I use. It's not that I don't, you know, no longer experience chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia syndrome. I just don't wallow in it to the extent where nothing else happens. Maybe one day I will, and that will be, you know, that will be my choice. But until that day, I'll not. So it's not that I can do stuff and I don't have, there's no bad feelings afterwards. It's just I don't weigh those as greater than what I wish to achieve. So I did a 18-minute stretching routine, like body movement routine, nice and gentle, because I hadn't warmed up, haven't done any exercise beforehand. You should never cold stretch. It was just more of to like move my joints through their full range of motion. So really, it was more a mobility routine. And I do not. Actually, I gotta. That's interesting. The thing that is James, feels good, because I've moved. I've done something that my body required. I've moved around, and there's a little bit more freedom in certain joints that are always awful. Like, so there's a slight improvement in my joint mobility, slight, tiny, you know, but that's still better than where it was. However, my body, I feel ill. I feel like it's really, it's kind of like an oily sick. It's really hard to explain, but it feels like an oily sick. Like, you know, my throat and down my gut and up into my brain and my neck. My neck feels sick. I don't know, if you've got CFS and you've had this feeling, you go like, oh yeah. Otherwise, if you never had it, like, I've got no way of explaining it too. It's like being it's like being like a dizzy sick. So you're feeling dizzy and sick, but not sick in your stomach. Like my stomach feels fine, but this area feels sick. Like when I was a kid, I used to say I just felt sick in my throat. Because I don't know, that was like my throat feels fine, but if I have to like point to where I feel sick, I usually might point here. Anyway, so I feel like a dizzy sick. I don't feel good right now. I feel ill. Like, ill. But the thing that is like me, I feel better for having done that. And my body will, even though right now it's going, you know, blah, my body will feel better for me having done it because I've done something that it requires. It's also possible that I've just released tension in my muscles, and sometimes when you release tension you can feel sick. That has been my experience with myself and other people. I don't know if there's any scientific backing to it. Maybe that's not what causes it. I know like release muscle tension, sometimes feel ill. So I said I was going to do it, and I did it. And yeah, my mood feels better, but I feel blah. Like, I feel ill. And I see so many people, they love to complain and just like, oh, I did a workout and now I don't feel good. So what? Sorry, that was a bit harsh. It sucks that you don't feel good, and it's awful that you don't feel good. But so what? Like, are you sharing to just share it? Then if you are, then yeah, you know, it sucks. Completely agree with you. If you're sharing it because you're trying to use it as some sort of excuse to validate why you're no longer trying any sort of movement plan, well then, you know, what's the point? You don't need other people to validate you. And if you do, I'm sorry that you need that. Like, but you know, you don't want to listen to people who are going to say, "Oh yeah, you did that thing. Oh, you should stop. You know, it's no good feeling awful." Rah rah rah. You don't want to listen to those people because they are enabling you. Okay, if you're trying to get out of something that could possibly help you get better, one, why? But two, if you don't want to hang around people who are just going to enable that. I mean, maybe you do because you want to get out of it, but you don't need other people to get out of it. Just don't do it. No one will know. You're the only one who'll know. Excuse me while I activate the noise cancelling device. I shut a window. Pattern interrupt. So, yeah, I wanted to share, I'm not immune to after workout bleh feeling. I still get it. I'm expanding quite a bit of energy right now, keeping my body calm and being able to, you know, have enough energy to talk and express myself in front of this camera for, you know, X minutes for today's thing. So it's not that I'm not affected. It's not that I've got a cure. It's not that, you know, I don't feel bleh after movement or activity or stuff like that. It's just, it's what I choose to talk about or not talk about, and it's what I choose to focus on. So, I will admit, I personally feel a little bit cowardly, and I do less movement than I want to do, because the feeling I'm currently feeling, which usually is tied up with my neck and because of how my spine is and rah, and you know, the fibromyalgia and the muscles and stuff like that, it's a really awful feeling, and I can sometimes be I say, for me personally, when I'm talking about me, it sometimes feels a bit cowardly because I don't do what I want to do because I'm always afraid of that feeling. Um, and then I've got like, well, are you being cowardly, or I was like, well, I can't improve from where I am if I'm always afraid of stubbing my toe, kind of thing. I can't, or if I'm going to be afraid of this feeling. You know, I have to do something and accept that this feeling might be a part of it for a part of that journey. But eventually it won't. Eventually there will be another side. The other side might be in 10 years. It doesn't matter. If I plan on being alive in 10 years, wouldn't it be nice at the end of 10 years that I no longer experience that and can do a lot more with my body? So yeah, Sunday, lost to fatigue. Monday, lost to pain. Tuesday, pretty much lost to recovery, where is that wiped out blah feeling. Though I got a lot of work done. I got a lot more work done, which was good. And I did movement today, and it was only an 18-minute movement plan thing, but that wiped me. And yes, I know some people are going to say I can't even do 1 minute. Well, do something, okay? I understand, but do something, all right? And if you can't, don't worry about it. If you really cannot do anything, then don't worry about it. But if you're just looking for excuses, don't. And don't hang out with people who enable you. Hang out with people who will support you, who understand you, who will back you, who will provide you with support. You know, a pat on the back and like, you can do it, is okay. It's alright to chase those sometimes. It's nice. It makes us feel good. It helps out in a really awful situation. But people are just going to go like, oh, you feel bad, you shouldn't do it anymore. Like, it's not conducive to improving you. So thank you very much for letting me share today. If you've got any questions or feedback, or like to introduce yourself, do so below, comment below. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button, and thank you very much for letting me share today.